Good morning, Hank. It's Tuesday. On a Monday afternoon in 2017, I was rummaging through a drawer when all at once my sense of balance failed and I fell to the floor and started vomiting. Balance is a sense, by the way, or at least part of one. The idea that we only have five senses is a bit of an oversimplification. There's also, among others, nociception, the sense of the body in pain, and proprioception, the sense of the body in space, of which balance is a part. But the thing about your sense of balance, of course, is that you don't notice it when it's working, right? Like, sitting here right now, I can tell you what I am smelling and seeing and hearing and tasting and touching, but I can't tell you about my sense of balance because it's functioning. Like, I don't know, I'm vaguely aware that left is over here and right is over here and forward is this way, but other than that, I feel fine. This is part of why it's almost impossible to explain to someone who's never had vertigo how it feels. Like, yes, it feels like you are a very small boat on a heaving ocean. Yes, it feels like when you're spun around 10 times and then told to walk in a straight line. But both those feelings end, and for me at least, the defining experience of vertigo was not how dizzy I was, but the fact that I didn't know how long I was going to be dizzy, or indeed if my sense of balance would ever be restored. And even when it does go away, that's no guarantee that it's going to go away forever. In fact, I'm making this video because my vertigo returned a couple of weeks ago, the seas of the world breaking over the bow of myself. So my point is, I don't really notice my sense of balance when it's working, but when I am imbalanced, boy do I notice it. In fact, in some ways it becomes the only sense I have. Like when I had vertigo in 2017 and was in bed for 2 weeks straight and couldn't open my eyes, my other senses were not relevant to me. In short, the imbalance was all-consuming. So Sarah took me to the hospital where they first did this thing called the Epley maneuver, where they kind of like move your head and body around to try to rearrange the crystals in your inner ear, because if you have a kind of vertigo called, I think, BPPV, that can be curative in like seconds without any further tests or anything. But that didn't work. In fact, it made me vomit more. And so they did a CT scan of my head, because vertigo can also be caused by all kinds of weird, scary things. But then my brain was, to quote my doctor, unremarkable. So they sent me home with some vertigo medicine that sort of works and something to keep me from barfing so much. Eventually they diagnosed me with a disease called labyrinthitis, which is a lovely name for when some kind of virus or something attacks your inner ear. In some cases, including mine, one sense of balance is never fully restored. Like, my sense of balance now relies much more on visual cues, so when there is no visual information, like when it's really dark outside, I can kind of stumble and start to get vertigo because my brain doesn't know where to put my body in space. And then sometimes I'll get imbalanced just because I have a cold or for reasons I can't discern, as happened a couple weeks ago. And to be honest, it's pretty terrifying because when it happens, you don't know if it's going to happen forever. Well, I guess it doesn't happen forever. Nothing happens forever, friends. Okay, Green, rein it in. Now, if you're guessing this is not just a video about proprioception, you are correct, because I feel like other kinds of imbalance function similarly in my life. I don't notice balance. I take it for granted. I am only aware, for instance, of my work-life balance when it is imbalanced. I'm only aware of the balance in my brain chemicals when they are imbalanced and cause my OCD or my depression. I don't think about the things that they don't cause, but they don't cause lots of things. I can feel a kind of abstract gratitude for the fact that I don't currently have vertigo or currently have various other miseries, but I can't feel it in the way that, like, when the vertigo actually starts to go away, that feeling is magical. If I could hold on to that gratitude, I would emanate gratitude throughout the world for the rest of my days. But instead I'm like, oh, I don't have vertigo today, which allows me to think about my other problems. Now, of course, this is not a bug of human consciousness, but a feature, right? Like, we are forgetful creatures and fail to see past the end of our proverbial noses because that's all helpful for survival. But it can also prove a barrier to empathy, even empathy toward ourselves. I cannot remember, for instance, what it felt like to have meningitis, at least not in the same acute way I can remember scent-based memories or sight-based memories. But when I have my sense of balance, or any other sense for that matter, I need to be grateful for it. I need to become aware of it by practicing gratitude for it. Like, when I'm free from pain, I'm able to be in all kinds of things, in trouble, in love, in a story, but when I am in pain, it is hard to be in anything else. So on days where I feel okay, I'm really trying to remind myself, look at this balance. What a gift, even if a temporary and unpredictable one. Hank, I'll see you on Friday.